One of the most confusing parts with binge eating, emotional eating, food obsession, or other eating issues is that you can be disciplined, intelligent, capable, and successful in every other area of your life and still feel out of control around food. Maybe you stopped smoking or drinking, or you built a successful career, or left a toxic relationship, or overcame any hard situation or bad habit, but food still somehow feels so much harder than all of these. And this mental obsession and all those cravings is so exhausting, and you think like, I can be fine all day, but at night I lose control and just eat everything. And why is this happening? What's wrong with me? Because I can be successful in all these other areas, and if I can't have the same success with food, there must be something deeply wrong with me. So you try to fix yourself. You go for therapy or on a spiritual journey. You travel to India or go to a yoga retreat. And this journey can take 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And you get so many beautiful things out of this, but your food struggle is still remains the same or even worse. And you feel more and more like something must be really wrong with me. But nothing is wrong with you. In this video, I show you why the approaches that worked in every other area of your life doesn't work with food and what works instead. The first element is that with most of the habits, the cold turkey approach works, right? You can stop smoking, you can stop drinking, you can stop gambling, but you can't stop eating. You need to eat every day. But still, people want to use the addiction model or approach with food too. And they eat only their safe foods and completely avoid the trigger foods that makes them overeat. Or they go on detoxes and drink only lemon water or celery juice or only juices. Or they only eat certain prepackaged foods and nothing else, or only just a few other things. Or they go on X amount of days of fasting. And for a while, these approaches can work because you take yourself out of your normal eating routine, or you don't expose yourself to certain foods, but it's like holding your breath, right? You can do it only for a certain amount of time until you start craving other foods, or you're in a social situation when you can't have your prepackaged food or your juices, or you really want to eat something else. And then most of the times you binge on those foods because you feel so deprived and because you know that next day you can't eat that food again. So that's one reason for why the models or approaches that people use to end addictions or habits doesn't work with food. The other element is that your body fights back. Your body doesn't want to starve, or it doesn't want you to restrict it. Eating is a really important element of survival, right? Without eating, you die. So your body uses all kinds of mechanisms to stop you from not eating or restricting yourself of certain foods that it might get some nutrients from, right? So let's say that you decide that for a year you are going to sleep in the living room instead of the bedroom. It's a bit inconvenient and weird, but you can do it, right? Your body doesn't fight back because sleeping in your bedroom is not essential for survival. But try to do the same with breathing or going to the bathroom or sleeping. It's not going to work, right? Your body will fight back. And it's the same with food. If you don't eat enough food or enough nutrients, your body perceives this as a threat to survival and it will fight back. It will make you hungrier, increases your appetite, and also slows down your metabolism so you use less energy. And then you are constantly hungry and have cravings. And because of your slow metabolism, you gain weight from even less food and you want to eat even less and less. And at some point, you will binge because you can't do it anymore. Your body is really making you hungry. And then the next morning, you panic because you ate so much. You feel like you have to restrict even more to compensate for last night's overeating, and your body fights back even more. So you start binging even more frequently and more food. And it can go round and round, and you can't get out of this cycle for years. I was stuck in this cycle for years. And the thing is that your body is an incredible thing. And when it perceives that there is scarcity every Monday, somehow the food runs out and there is not enough food, and then it starts storing energy in the form of fat, right? So you have energy for next Monday or whenever the next famine period is coming. So the worst thing you can do is yo-yo diet, because then you just teach your body to store fat and also be in this emergency mode and fight back. Right? I know that this seems inconvenient and frustrating, but think about it this way. We should be thankful for our bodies to do this, because otherwise we would starve ourselves and we would die, right? Because when we are in this crazy dieting mindset and we start eating less, and then we are not losing the weight, and then we eat less and less because we want to lose faster and faster, we would just die. So your body is actually making you survive. That's why anorexia is so dangerous. And without this mechanism, we wouldn't be here today. But I also want you to know that you don't have to stuck in this cycle forever. It can be fixed, but the solution is not dieting or restricting food. Because as you can see, the more you control or try to manage food, the louder the food noise, the cravings, the hunger becomes. And this is why diet industry is so profitable. It makes you want to lose weight, and then it gives you solutions that actually makes you store fat because you get into this survival mode, and then you fail, or maybe you lose some weight but you gain it back. You fail, and then you want to try another diet and another diet and another diet, right? So this means that to overcome emotional eating, binge eating, food obsession, we need a different approach. So we need to create a relationship with our bodies when it can feel safe, when it knows that even if I don't binge, I'm still safe. I'm out of this survival scarcity mode, and I have abundance. And you know what? I don't need those thousands calories every night anymore. I'm safe. So your body calms down, and with that, the cravings go away and the urges to binge go away too. So when your body is calm, relaxed, and certain that it gets food, it doesn't create all that stress hormone anymore that contribute to the fat storage, because you are not so stressed and anxious about food anymore. And you are working with your body instead of against your body. So your body does not fight back anymore. It doesn't resist anymore. And then you can reach your goal, right? And nothing makes you go back to binging, because your body trusts you. And then you can start trusting yourself, and the binging habit breaks. Because otherwise, no matter how long you try to control and manipulate your body, it will always fight back. And you will start hating yourself more and more, because you feel like your body is your enemy. And actually, there are some approaches out there that teaches you to fight the disgusting pig in your head, or shut up the mean girl in your head, or just fight your body because your body is the enemy. And I don't like that. Your body is not your enemy. It just has this biological response to trying to keep you alive. You cannot live happily when you are an enemy to yourself, when you hate yourself, when you don't trust yourself, and when you try to destroy all the parts of yourself that you don't like. And that's why what I teach is so much more peaceful and fun and permanent. So you will go from how could I control myself more to how could I create more safety and trust with my body, so it doesn't need this pattern, the binging or overeating or emotional eating anymore. And we have this trusting relationship, and then together we can reach my goals. And that's very different from willpower that we usually use to achieve our other goals, or, change our habit. And that's why you can be successful in every areas of your life, but not with food. And if this resonated, I created a workbook called Outgrown, from food struggle to self-leadership. And it's designed to help you shift out of this survivor pattern and stop emotional eating, binge eating, food obsession without dieting or extreme restrictions. You can find the link below. And if you want to see the science background with research studies about why food scarcity makes you overeat, watch this video next. See you there.